Okay, now that's the way to start a day. Chinook clouds to the west, the sun coming up in the east and shining on them. Gorgeous. The color didn't last all that long, but man, so nice. I wasn't entirely sure where I was going to go, but it was going to be somewhere up high. And so I dawdled my way through the foothills and found a few interesting things. Like this spiderweb in a brief rain shower, and fireweed fluff on a rose thorn. But the light was bright and crisp, and the day was soft and warm. Well, at least until I got closer to the mountains. Remember those gorgeous Chinook clouds I saw at dawn? Yeah, that Chinook blew in hard. But I did manage to find a place that was a little bit out of the wind down here along the Highwood River. There were tons of fireweed there, and it's so gorgeous at this time of year. Those colors, that's what gives fireweed their name. With that wind howling, I thought I was going to be blown around like this grouse feather for the rest of the day. But once I got up high, not bad. The wind died down, and up on the higher slopes, the larches were just glowing. They were the first real splashes of color I'd seen, other than the fireweed. But I did find more when I stopped to walk along the Highwood River. There were still plenty of asters blooming along the banks, and the hoverflies and the bees were all over them. Strange though it may seem, even though I know that these guys stay blooming well into the fall, it always surprises me when I see them at this time of year. They seem so summery. From there I continued on following the Highwood River, up past Storm Creek and over Highwood Pass. And don't blink now or you'll miss it. I found one of these guys. That's a pika, and he didn't stick around long. Down on the other side of the pass, the wind was blowing again, but there was at least a little bit of color. These willows along the lakeshore, they looked really nice. And there were bighorn sheep, too. Though I have to admit I always feel a little bit guilty photographing these guys because they're just so easy. They just hang out along the roadsides, bicker a little bit, go on with their day. These guys were surrounded by tourists and just ignored them. I ignored the tourists as well and tried to find places where there weren't that many of them. Up here along Barrier Lake, not too bad. A few people heading out to paddleboard on the water. But I turned away from there and headed back into the foothills again. I was hoping for more autumn color, but you know, it's just a little bit too early. It shouldn't be very long though until all those fall colors start to pop. Soon they'll be everywhere, but let's hope the wind doesn't blow them all away. For now though, if you really want to see some splashes of autumn color, you should be heading high.